Assalamu alaikum and good day, Sir Ralph. I am Hasreen Maulana Fahad from Group 2 who will be discussing about the volunteerism. So my part here is I will be discussing about the volunteer service organization and the voluntary sector. So first, let's begin. What is volunteer service organization? So it refers to a local or foreign group that recruits, trains, deploys, and supports volunteer workers to programs and projects implemented by them or by other organizations or any group that provides services and resources including but not limited to information, capability building, advocacy, and networking for the attainment of the common good. These are organizations, no, that who, for reasons arising from their social, developmental, business, and corporate orientation, commitment, or conviction, contribute time, service, and resources, whether on full-time or part-time basis, to just and essential social development cause, mission, or endeavor in the belief that their activity is mutually meaningful and beneficial to public interest as well as to themselves. So these are some of the volunteer organizations existing here in the Philippines. So we have Habitat for Humanity Philippines. So from the word habitat, they build strong and resilient structures that make our homeowners feel secure. Safe and decent homes uplift a family's standard of living by giving them a true sense of ownership and pride. Through the years, organization has also expanded its services by providing volunteer opportunities, community development projects, youth programs, water and sanitation facilities, schools, health centers, libraries, and multipurpose buildings that can benefit the whole community. Next, we have a Child Hope Philippines. It is actually the first international movement founded here in the country which advocates for the cause of street children. That's why it is called Child Hope. So the organization's main objective is to empower street children and help them gain access to a brighter future. It employs street educators who go out into the streets of Manila and provide counseling and basic education to street kids through alternative learning sessions. So it is actually nagko-conduct sila ng free learning sessions to street kids more specifically in Manila. The third one is the Coalition of Services of the Elderly, or COSE. It is a non-government organization working to promote community-based programs of the elderly. In addressing issues of poverty, exclusion, and invisibility, COSE is privileged to help older people, especially the poor ones, in enabling them to bring about conditions that they may live in dignity. So they have community organizing, group home for abandoned older women, disaster risk reduction, health and active aging, age-friendly livelihood. So nag-conduct sila ng mga seminars or programs that relates to the life of the living of the our older people. Next is voluntary sector. Voluntary sector refers to those sectors of the Philippine society that organizes themselves into volunteers to take advocacy and action, and primarily for local and national development as well as international cooperation and understanding. So we have examples of voluntary sectors. So we have charities, foundations, social welfare organizations, advocacy groups, faith-based organizations, community groups, recreational sports, community groups such as like Neighborhood Watch, Knitting. We have foundations named David Suzuki Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Usually, sa mga international sila. But when we say voluntary sectors, it is actually in international cooperation na collaboration then in the Philippines. They organize themselves as into volunteers to take advocacy and action primarily for local and national development and also for understanding. So yun lang, yun lang po. Dito ko na po tatapusin ang aking report. Ako nga po pala ulit si Hasreen Maulana Fahad from Group 2 Volunteerism.